Hello again guys, it's Charles here with Charles Harrison Music. Following on from our last video, Harmonic Analysis 1 of Stellar, today Harmonic Analysis 2, we're looking at Autumn Leaves. So we're starting in the key of G major. For this and all jazz standards, you'll need to be able to play three important scales. Major scale, the Harmonic Minor scale and the Melodic Minor scale. If you're not familiar with either of those scales, you'll need to look up here or somewhere, and I'll put a card to some videos that I've done to teach you how to play those scales. If you already know your scales, let's plod on. So the first thing we're going to do with Autumn Leaves is just talk through the normal scales, the expected scales. Something I didn't do in my last video a huge amount of is talk about chord voicing, so I want to do that a little bit today as well. And then any sort of extra flavours that we can add in here, I'll talk about those as they come up. But let's quickly go through the tune and say what the expected key centres are. So we start off A minor 7, D7, G major 7, C major 7, F sharp minor 7, flat 5. Okay, now up to that point we've been in the key of G major, we've been in the home key. So A minor 7 is G major, D7 is G major, G major 7 is G major, C major 7 is also G major. Now I say up to this point because if you watch the last video you'll remember a minor 7 flat 5 chord is normally a telltale sign that we're moving into the harmonic minor scale. So what we do is we look at the root of this chord, well this happens to be F sharp minor 7 flat 5, and we go down a tone. Well a tone below F sharp is E. So over F sharp minor 7 we're going to be playing E harmonic minor. Okay, the harmonic minor is the Yngwie sound or the Bach sound, that sound there. We then get, as expected, the B7 chord, which often has a flat 9 on it as well, which would be the indicator of the harmonic minor. But the minor 7 flat 5 going to its 5 chord, which in this case is B7, taking us nicely to E minor. Now that E minor doesn't have a major 7 in it, it's just a normal E minor 7 chord, which means you're going to be playing G major again essentially, but you're playing G major in an E minor-y way. Okay, we call that E natural minor, but it's just a mode of the major scale. You may know it as the Aeolian mode. Okay, and that's the first 8 or 9 bars done. So now we're into, we repeat that and we're into the second time bar, which is just still the B7 to the E minor. So at bar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, bar 9, we've got another F sharp minor 7, flat 5 I should say. So it's still E harmonic minor, and then as I said here we've got the B7 with the flat 9 to an E natural minor. So that is E harmonic minor, E harmonic minor, E Aeolian or E natural minor, or G major, whatever you want to call it. Then A minor 7, D7, G major 7. Okay, so we're just getting loads of 2-5-1s in this, guys. 2-5-1s. 2-5-1, I realised I didn't actually explain what that means in last week's lesson. So for those who don't know, 2-5-1 is the second degree of the scale chord, the fifth degree of the scale chord, back to the first degree of the scale chord. So if we're in G major, the chord on the second degree would be G A, and it's A minor 7. The fifth, G A B C D, D7, and the 1 of course would be G major 7. Okay, then last 8 bars of the tune. We've got F sharp minor 7 again, flat 5, I keep forgetting to say flat 5, apologies. B7 flat 9. So again, both of those are E harmonic minor. Now, here's a little interesting bit. This is very similar to in Stella. A little bit similar but different. We've got E minor 7 to A7, D minor 7 to G7. So what we've got there is D major for one bar, C major for one bar, then we get another F sharp minor 7 flat 5, guess what, E harmonic minor, B7 flat 9, guess what, E harmonic minor, E minor 7 or E minor, G major scale, E natural minor scale, whatever you want to call it, E aeolian. And that's it, that's the correct answers. So you want to get comfortable doing that first. If you can't comfortably play through moving from G major to E harmonic minor, you're going to want to practice that and just moving between those two scales. Again, if you're not sure on how to play those scales, I placed a card at the beginning of this video. I think I can only place it once. But I've got a series of videos that teach these scales. Okay, so how can we spice this up a little bit? Well, to start of the song, we've got A minor 7, D7, G major 7. So, a pretty modern thing to do, or it's currently very trendy, I like the sound of this, is play minor 11s where possible. So the voicing I use is 5 on the low E string, skip a string, 5 on the D string, 5 on the G, and then 3 on the B. Very trendy sound. You'll hear Tom Quayle does that a lot. D7. Well, you can stay in this voicing and just move the note on the D string down a semitone to the 4th fret. So you can have 5, 4, 5, 3. And then I like a G major 13, G, F sharp, B and E. Now from here for a C major 7, now although the tune says C major 7, the C in G would have an F sharp in it if we added an 11 to it. So for this voicing here I can just move my first finger up to the A string. Remember guys, I've got a 7th string, this is a low B string, so this is my E string here, the 2nd string down. C major 11, C major 7 sharp 11. There. Okay. So we've got okay. Just a bit more interesting than sticking to the standard chords. That's still all G major. Then at that point we get our F sharp minor 7 flat 5. So here's a few voicings. We talked about this chord a lot in the last video, but I didn't really show you a huge amount of voicings. Again, I've done lots of voicings videos for all sorts of different chords, so you'll find those on my channel. They're either called voicings or rotations is a word I sometimes use as well. So the rotations of this chord, or inversions, would be, so that one there is 5, skip a string, 4, 5, 5. Then we can have 8, skip a string, 7, 9, 7. Or we can go up to the 12th fret, and we can have, oh in fact, well, the standard one that I like to use all the time is the 9, 10, 9, 10 on the middle 4 strings. Now we can also use a straight 9, like a 9 bar chord there, okay? Now, I talked about this briefly in the last video, but we're talking here about using the, rather than using the E harmonic minor over this chord. It appears in other scales as well, and the most common one, if I go back to this second voicing I just showed you here, 5, skip a string, 4, 5, 5, you could call that an A minor 6. Okay, so I'm playing F sharp minor 7 flat 5 using this first inversion voicing. Some people would call that an A minor 6. Now over A minor 6 you can play the A melodic minor. Okay? Therefore, over F sharp minor 7 flat 5 you can play Minor, and any voicings from it. That's another nice one. On the bottom 4 strings, 4, 5, 5, 7. You can go some stretchy ones. You could do 12, 14, 12, 8. It's a nice one. Or you could do that with the D sharp. 13, 14, 12, 8. Okay, so I'm just experimenting with notes of the scales here, guys. B7 flat 9. Okay, so B7 flat 9, I would give it the standard one would be 2, 1, 2, 1 on the middle 4 strings. But we can also go up here and use. I'm going to use the low B string on this one. 7 on the D string, 8 and 8 on the G and B, and 10 on the E. That's another nice one. You can just use general altered voicings, guys. Okay, these are some lovely sounds. Any of these sort of voicings, just spend loads of time mucking about with your scales and find voicings that you like. Okay, and then E minor 7. I think we all know some E minor 7 voicings, but let's just go. That's a nice one. All the 7s. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. Or we can add the 9. E, G, 7, 5, 7, 7. You add the A on the top. 7, 5, 7, 7, 5. We can use add the 6. That's on the A, starting on the A string. 7, 11, 7, 10, 7. Okay. Getting tuned, there we go. Right, so let's skip ahead. So there's some voicings. Hopefully there was some nice ones there. I'm trying to think if there's any other ones that I use a lot that I've forgotten to add in. Oh, that's it, yeah. The other one you can use is like the, almost like a D7, sorry, a D9. 4, 5, 5, 5 rather than the 4, 5, 5, 7. 4, 5, 5, 5. 7, 9, 7, 8. We can go 10, 11, 10, 12. These are all F sharp minor 7 voicings. Flat 5s. That's a lovely one. 14, 11, 13. 16. Okay. So I'm just mucking about with notes of the scale and trying to make my hand look like Holdsworth's playing, and sometimes you get a nice chord. Let's skip ahead, guys, to in the last 8 bars, bar 3 and 4 of the last 8 bars. Okay, so this is E minor 7 to A7, D minor 7 to G7. Now, as we know, we can use what we call tritone substitutions on dominant chords. Now, you can actually use these on any type of chord, but we're most familiar with it on dominant 7 chords. So here we've got E minor 7, A7, D minor 7, G7. However, just like at the end of Stella we were doing the other day, we can take a more chromatic descending approach. Now, we can't use the exact same voicings that we use in Stella, but we use pretty similar ones. So here's one demonstration of that. So we can go for E minor 7, starting on the A string, we can go 7, 5, 7, just a triad, 3-note chord. and then 6 5 7 6 5 6. So 7 5 7 6 5 6. That takes us from E minor 7, E flat 7, which is the tritone substitution of A7. We can then go to D minor 7, D flat 7. Okay. Now technically these 7 chords built on the tritone would be sharp 11, 7 sharp 11. So we could have this voicing, this progression here. We could take, like I was saying, we like a minor 11 chords, quite trendy. So here's another voicing for a minor 11 chord. This is E minor 11, would be on the A string, 7 7 7 8. Now all you need to do is change that to 6 7 6 8. So you slide your finger down, middle finger takes over the 7, ring finger takes over that top note. So I've got 6 7 6 8. Same again on the D. Okay. Or I could take an E minor 13 sort of thing, E minor 9 really. D over E would be a clearer way of thinking about this chord. Okay, so I'm going from all the 7s on the middle 4 strings, 6 7 6 6. And then scale-wise, you're going to be using E minor is just going to be E minor. On 7 sharp 11 chords, you use the melodic minor scale built on its 5th. So if I'm on an E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, I'm going to play the notes of B flat melodic minor. Again, we talked about this with Stella, but so on. Sorry, I didn't explain that very clearly. I'll let me rephrase that. I just did the first 2 chords. E minor 7 is just going to be G major or E natural minor. We've then got E flat 7 sharp 11. Okay, over which you can play B flat melodic minor. Okay. Then because the next 2 chords, this is what I didn't explain very well, are the same thing down a tone, A flat melodic minor. So scale wise you have E minor, that was B flat melodic minor, to D minor, A flat melodic minor. Okay, brilliant. One more nice voicing that I've just remembered for a F sharp minor 7 flat 11, or a couple more voicings. Flat 11, what am I talking about? Flat 5. You can use that same F major 7 voicing with the sharp 11 that I showed you. So that's 3 4 4 5 on the middle 4 strings. You use A diminished. Any others we can use? I mean, there's loads more, but off the top of my head, be a bit forced that one, but that's 3 on the low E string, 2 on the D, 5 on the G, 4 on the B. You could add the top E string on there if you wanted. That's another nice B7 flat 9. Low 7 on the low E string, skip a string, D7, G5, B4. Okay. So just to finish with, I'm just going to do a solo over the tune. I don't think I'll try calling out the scales because I'll just confuse myself, but obviously I'm just going to try and stick to the scales I've talked about today, and Hope you found this one useful, guys. Leave any comments, questions, requests for other tunes down below, and I'll get to them. I might maybe move on to some more modal tunes at some point, because so far I've just been talking about tonal ones. But here we go, Autumn Leaves. 2, 3, 4. Okay, a little bit out of tune there, but hopefully you get the general idea. You hear those scales going by. See you in the next one, guys. Thanks for your support. Cheers.